Okay, question 19. A 10-foot ladder is leaning against the house. The base of the ladder is 5 feet from the side of the house. At what height does the ladder touch the house? Round to the nearest 10. Okay, the only way you can do this question is if you make a quick drawing. I'm not asking anyone to be a professional drawer. There's my door, that's my window, that's my house. Now, your ladder. Your ladder should be leaning against the house. Who wants to raise their hand and tell me how long is the ladder? 10 feet. And yeah, we're shooting a video, so try to keep it going kind of fast. Just raise your hand, or I'll quickly call on you. How many feet away from the house did I say it was? 5. Now, you have to always be able to identify where the 90-degree corner is. Okay, your ladder will never be 90 degrees away from the house, otherwise it's standing straight up and down. And yes, you should not have a ladder going up too tall. There's got to be an angle on it, otherwise it doesn't create the force to keep it where it needs to be. My 90-degree corner is here. Now, when you put a 90 there, this is C. Obviously, 5 is, who can raise their hand and tell me what 5 is? A. This is B. Now, this becomes a question that is solvable with A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If I'm not on the screen, just give me a yell every once in a while. A is going to be 5 squared plus B squared equals 10 squared. It's awesome when they give me numbers that are more workable. 5 squared is 25. 10 squared is 100. Now, algebraic one-step equations. This isn't one because I got to square root it. But it has the properties of a one-step equation. How do I get B squared by itself, Brandon?
Subtract 25.
Subtract 25, subtract 25. I get B squared equals 75. Now, I don't want to know what B times B is. I want to know what plain old B is. This is the hard part to what you have to memorize. Paragraph, before you give me your answer, how do I unsquared B? Square root. Square root. What's my answer? Rounded to the 10th place. 8.7. And what was on your screen? 8.66. 8.66. Let's roll with 8.7. Now, I'm slightly geeky. It'd be really good if you included what your unit is. 8.7 feet up on the wall. So a 10-foot ladder is going to get you 8.7 feet up. A 10-foot ladder will not get you 10 feet up because that means your ladder is not secure. So there's my first question. Let's go to question number 20. The garden club is a garden in the shape of a right triangle. Okay, nobody makes gardens in the right triangle, so we're going to roll with this. If one leg is 16 feet and the hypotenuse is 20 feet, how long is the remaining leg along where the roses are planted? Round to the nearest 10. Okay, right triangle. It's hard to guess what shape your right triangle is until you start putting your numbers on there. The hypotenuse was 20. One of the legs is 16. Now, let me slide this up. You're solving for, I'll be honest with you, I really don't know if I'm solving for A or B. Who can raise their hand and explain to me why I don't know if I'm solving for A or B? This is a great thought-provoking idea here. So here's where I needed to concentrate. How come I don't know if it's A or B? It'll be A if it's less than what? How many feet? It's A if it's less than 16. If it's more than 16, it should have been B. So I'm going to put on here it's A or B. I don't know. Now, commutative property does let me switch that, so who cares? So I'm going to just call it A for now. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A squared plus 16 squared equals 20 squared. I know that one's 400. Now I need somebody helping mathematics to tell me what 16 times 16 is. 256. Now, I subtract all my 256. I subtract all my 256. I get A squared equals, ooh, man alive, I'm working hard. Now I get, one, sweet. Slide it up so you can see all this good work. Subtract 256 from each side, subtract 256 from each side, and now, that's one you should almost have memorized. You don't need a calculator. I square root, A equals 12 feet. Now, here's the thing I want you to also concentrate on. If you got an answer of 144 here, it's impossible to keep that as a logical choice. If one is 20 and one is 16, the longest the side can be is less than 36. even if I mix all things around. So you always got to look at questions and think, okay, is it logical for what we did? Then last but not least, I got question 21. To get to the Green Thumb floral shop from her house, Jody walks 7 blocks east and 4 blocks south. What's the actual distance? I find this fascinating too, because I travel a lot, and when I plug in my GPS, it'll tell me that I got to go, it's 178 miles away. But when I hit go, it'll calculate that I'm 200 and some miles away. Why? How come the GPS actual measurement is different from the drivable distance? How come? No? Perfect. It's the old way of saying it. You're getting how the bird flies there. Meaning if you're going downstate, they're flying over Lake Michigan and they're cutting through. Well, we have to go all the way to the bridge and cut down. So now, anytime you do a question like this, to understand, never eat shredded wheat, never eat soggy waffles. When it says 7 blocks east, I'm going 7 this way. When it says 4 blocks south, I'm going 4 blocks this way. So now, I've got a nice triangle that looks like this, and it says, hey, take a shortcut. Kind of like, is it quicker to get to your neighbor's house cutting through the backyard? Probs. Many times it is. But you also have to know your neighbors and know if there's any crazy dogs. So, my 90-degree triangle is here. Who can raise their hand and tell me, what letter am I finding? C. Look at this. This is awesome. During the video. Good morning. Ah, not bad. Absolutely, positively. Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Thank you very much. Yep. Bye. Sweet. That was good that they did it that way too. Now, I'm going to quickly roll because I'm already at 7 minutes and this thing's going to be a beast to download, but that's fine. I got to go a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 4 squared plus 7 squared equals c squared. You guys have done enough of these. You're clicking on them. It's becoming pretty almost old habit. 16 plus 49 equals c squared. Now, this is where we get crazy again. I borrow from the 16, make it 15, crank up 49 to 50, and 50 plus 15 is 65. Some people like thinking that way. Some people are saying, no, just do 6 and 9, carry the 1. I get square root of 65. What's my answer? 8.1. You know what I like about that? 8 times 8 is 64. Really close to that. 8.1. Now, 8.1's lazy. 8.1 what?
It was 8.01. Or 8.08.
Oh, it's 8.08. You rounded up to 8.1. Thank you. But what unit goes on here? Miles, yards, galaxies. What is it?
Blocks.
Oh, there's a big difference. This is blocks. Now, I could go into a long-winded story about blocks, but I'm already at 8 minutes, so I'm going to hit stop and then I'll